The massive crystal chamber of Zentari Prime gleamed under artificial stars. Representatives from 37 species gathered in the Grand Hall, their various forms creating a sea of colors, scales, and tentacles. The 1,000-year war was finally over. Ambassador John Carter stood at the edge of the human delegation, watching the celebration unfold. His dark suit looked plain among the elaborate robes and bioarmor of other species. Behind him, his assistant Amy Roberts whispered updates into her datapad. The Kraxan Empire just announced their victory speech will last 3 hours, Amy said quietly. John nodded, his face calm. Let them have their moment. At the center of the chamber, the High Chancellor of the Galactic Council raised 6 arms, in triumph. The Zephyrian's blue skin pulsed with bioluminescent patterns. Today marks the end of suffering. The Kraxan Empire and Vortan Alliance have achieved peace. Cheers erupted from the assembly. The Kraxans, massive reptilian beings standing 9 feet tall, roared their approval. The insectoid Vortans clicked their mandibles in celebration. Smaller species joined the chorus, grateful the devastating war had ended. John remained silent, observing. The human section seemed empty compared to others. Only 5 people represented Earth. Most species brought dozens of delegates. Lord Zarthek of the Kraxan Empire stepped forward, his scaled hide glistening. The victory belongs to the strong. We have crushed our enemies and secured our borders. His voice boomed across the chamber. The Vortan Supreme, Krixval, responded with a series of clicks and whistles. The translator converted. The alliance prevails through unity. Our hive minds prove superior. Neither mentioned the planets saved by unmarked ships. Neither spoke of the supply lines mysteriously protected during crucial battles. Neither acknowledged the intelligence reports that appeared exactly when needed. John's wrist communicator vibrated silently. He glanced at the encoded message from Admiral Susan Martinez. Phoenix ready. Your word starts everything. The High Chancellor continued, spreading a holographic map across the chamber. Star systems glowed in different colors. Now we divide the conquered territories. The Kraxan Empire claims the Helix Nebula. The Vortan Alliance takes the binary worlds. Species after species stepped forward, claiming their prizes. The powerful took the best systems. The weak accepted scraps. Humanity wasn't mentioned. What about the unnamed helpers? A small voice asked. Everyone turned to see Etherian, barely 3 feet tall, speaking from the minor species section. Some of us survived because unknown ships helped us. Lord Zarthek laughed, a sound like grinding stones. Ghost stories. The weak always imagine saviors. John touched his earpiece. Admiral, are you monitoring? Every word, Ambassador, Susan Martinez replied from her command ship. The fleet awaits your signal. The territorial division continued. Prime worlds went to major powers. Resource-rich systems were grabbed by those with the biggest warships. After 2 hours, the map was nearly complete. Finally, the High Chancellor noticed the human delegation. Ah, Earth. Your species provided medical supplies, yes? How generous. Perhaps you'd like one of the border worlds? The dust plains are available. The dust plains, a system of barren rocks that no species wanted. John stepped forward. Thank you, Chancellor. But first, may I address the Council? Whispers filled the chamber. Humans rarely spoke at these gatherings. Be brief, the Chancellor said. We have celebrations to attend. John walked to the center platform. His calm demeanor contrasted with the excitement around him. The war is over. That's worth celebrating. But perhaps we should discuss the complete history of this conflict. Lord Zarthek growled. What would humans know of our great war? You hid on your distant world. Did we? John activated his holoprojector. The image showed a Kraxan battlecruiser under attack by pirates. Just as its shields failed, unmarked fighters appeared, destroying the attackers. This happened in the Vega sector 3 years ago. Your ship carried 10,000 civilians. The recording continued. The unmarked fighters escorted the damaged cruiser to safety, then vanished into hyperspace. Zarthek's scales shifted color, surprise in Kraxan body language. Those ships, they had no identification. Correct. John changed the image. Now it showed a Vortan colony under bombardment. Again, mysterious vessels arrived, evacuating civilians before the planet fell. This was Haven Prime. 15 million Ds. Vortan saved. Krixval's compound eyes focused on the image. We wondered who helped them escape. John continued showing recordings. A supply convoy rescued from ambush. A hospital ship protected during retreat. Intelligence reports appearing on commanders' desks at crucial moments. Each incident featured the same unmarked vessels. These ghost ships, the Therian delegate said, standing on his chair to be seen. They saved my homeworld too. We never knew who they were. John smiled slightly. Earth believes in action over words. While others fought for territory, we fought to save lives. The chamber fell silent. Even the victory celebrations paused as species began understanding. Humanity hadn't hidden. They'd worked in shadows, saving whoever needed help. Impossible, Lord Zarthek protested. Humans lack the technology. A new voice interrupted from John's communicator, broadcast to the entire chamber. Ambassador Carter, this is Admiral Martinez. Shall I bring the fleet into visual range? John looked around the assembly. By all means, Admiral. Let's show our friends what humanity built while they were busy fighting. Through the chamber's massive viewports, lights began appearing. First dozens, then hundreds. Warships emerged from hyperspace in perfect formation. Each vessel bore Earth's emblem, a blue planet surrounded by stars. The USS Liberty led the fleet, a dreadnought that rivaled anything the Kraxans or Vortans possessed. Fighter squadrons flew in precise patterns. Support vessels, carriers, and ships of unknown classification filled the space around Centauri Prime. Amy Roberts stepped beside John, reading from her datapad. 412 vessels now in system. All weapon systems powered down. Shields at standard levels. The chamber erupted in chaos. Species that thought humans were primitive farmers stared at a fleet that could challenge any navy in the galaxy. John raised his hand for silence. We didn't come to conquer. We came to help. The question now is simple. Will the galaxy's future be decided by the same thinking that caused 1,000 years of war, or is it time for a different approach? His communicator buzzed again. Another encrypted message from Admiral Martinez. Phoenix positions confirmed. 47 systems await your command. John smiled, knowing the real surprise hadn't been revealed yet. Humanity hadn't just built a fleet. They'd prepared something much bigger. The High Chancellor's voice shook. Ambassador Carter, what exactly are you proposing? Nothing yet, John replied. But perhaps the territorial discussion should include all participants in this war, even the quiet ones. As the alien delegates processed this revelation, John returned to his seat. The first phase was complete. The galaxy thought the war was over. They were about to learn it had only set the stage for humanity's true emergence. Amy leaned close. Think they're ready for the rest? John watched the chaos in the chamber, species arguing and pointing at the human fleet. They will be. Sometimes the best teachers are those who let students think they've discovered the lesson themselves. Outside, the human fleet held perfect formation, waiting. The silent victors had finally shown their hand. But this was just the beginning. The Grand Hall buzzed with nervous energy. Every species stared at the human fleet visible through the viewports. Lord Zarthek was the first to break the silence, his scaled fist slamming onto the council table. This is deception, the Kraxan leader roared. Humans are primitive scavengers. They couldn't build such a fleet. John Carter remained seated, calm as still water. Amy Roberts stood beside him, tapping her datapad. On the other side, Captain Daniel Rodriguez of the USS Liberty watched everything through a secure connection. Primitive, John asked softly. That's what you called us when Earth requested membership in the Galactic Council 50 years ago? You laughed at our application? The High Chancellor fluttered his wings nervously. Ambassador Carter, surely You don't intend threats? No threats, John replied. Just truth. Would the council like to see more? Before anyone could respond, John activated his holo projector again. This time, the image showed a Kraxan military base on Sigma-7, timestamp indicating 6 months ago. Kraxan soldiers patrolled the perimeter while scientists worked inside laboratories. Your weapons research facility, John said to Zarthek. You were developing a planet-killer weapon. Zarthek's scales shifted to deep red, anger mixed with surprise. That's classified. How could you? The hologram changed. Now it showed figures in black armor moving through shadows. They planted devices throughout the facility, then vanished like ghosts. Minutes later, every computer system crashed. The weapon research was completely erased. Your project violated 17 treaties, John continued. We couldn't let genocide become an option. The Vorten Supreme, Krixval, clicked his mandibles rapidly. You're claiming responsibility for the Sigma-7 incident? Our intelligence said it was system failure. John smiled slightly. Earth's special forces prefer others to reach their own conclusions. Less messy that way. Amy stepped forward, reading from her datapad. Operation Ghostwalker. Operation Deep Shadow. Operation Silent Guard. Would you like details on each mission, or shall we continue with the presentation? The chamber erupted in arguments. Species accused each other of hiding information. Others demanded explanations from their intelligence services. The neat order of the peace celebration crumbled into chaos. Through his earpiece, John heard Admiral Martinez. Ambassador, we're detecting weapon systems powering up on several alien vessels. Should we respond? Negative, Admiral. Maintain defensive posture only. The High Chancellor restored order by pulsing a bright light from his staff. Enough! Ambassador Carter, these claims are serious. You're saying humans conducted covert operations during the war? We're saying humans prevented the war from becoming extinction, John replied. He changed the hologram again. This time it showed a young human woman in a simple laboratory. Dr. Lisa Thompson worked at a console, surrounded by equations that made several alien scientists gasp in recognition. Quantum encryption, whispered the Altarian science delegate. We thought that was theoretical. Dr. Thompson made it practical, John said. Earth's communications have been unbreakable for 15 years. We heard everything, saw everything. And when we found plans for atrocities, we acted. Lord Zarthek stood to his full 9-foot height. This is fantasy. Humans lack the technology, the resources. The arrogance? John interrupted. Yes, we lack that. Earth focused on different priorities. While you built bigger weapons, we built better shields. While you conquered worlds, we studied jump space physics. He gestured to the viewport where the human fleet waited. Those ships use 4th-generation stealth systems. Your sensors can see them now only because we allow it. To demonstrate, half the human fleet suddenly vanished from view and sensors. Alien tactical officers frantically worked their consoles, finding nothing. Then the ships reappeared in completely different positions. Impossible, breathed the Centauri military attaché. Captain Rodriguez's voice came through the chamber speakers. Admiral Martinez, this is Liberty. Shall we show them the Singapore maneuver? Not yet, Captain. Let's keep some surprises. John stood and walked to the center of the chamber. For 50 years you called us primitive. We accepted that label. It let us work without interference. But we weren't idle. The hologram expanded, now showing a star map. 47 systems, pulsed with blue light. Systems scattered across the galaxy. During the war's chaos, we claimed unwanted worlds. Places you deemed worthless. Too cold, too hot, too much radiation. Humans adapted. We always do. A Therian delegate squeaked in recognition. The dead zones? You colonize the dead zones? Nothing is dead if you bring life to it, Amy said. Each colony is self-sufficient. Each has defensive systems. Each produces ships. The implications hit the assembly like a shockwave. Humanity hadn't just built one fleet. They had 47 industrial bases spread across the galaxy. Krixval's translator struggled with his rapid clicks. You're saying Humans have been building an empire while we fought? Not an empire, John corrected. Infrastructure, the foundation for something better than endless war. Lord Zarthek snarled. You speak of deception while claiming moral superiority. How are you different from any conqueror? John's expression hardened. We saved 17 billion lives during your war. Every rescue mission risked human lives. We asked for no payment, no territory, no thanks. How many did your empire save, Lord Zarthek? The Kraxan leader had no answer. The difference, John continued, is that we built strength to protect, not to dominate. Every human base includes refugee centers. Every human ship carries emergency supplies. We prepared for peace, not more war. The High Chancellor floated forward on his hover platform. What do you want, Ambassador? Why reveal this now? Because the old way failed, John replied. 1,000 years of war, trillions dead, worlds burned. And what changed? The same powers still make the same decisions for the same reasons. He paused, looking around the chamber. Earth offers an alternative, but it requires courage to try something new. Through the viewport, a new ship appeared, the USS Harmony, a vessel unlike any warship. Its hull gleamed white, marked with symbols from every known species. Captain Rodriguez announced, Ambassador, the Harmony is ready. Joint crews from 15 species aboard, all volunteers. Gasps echoed through the chamber. The idea of mixed species crews was radical. Most could barely tolerate each other in the same room. You've been training alien crews? The Chancellor asked. We've been proving cooperation works, John replied. Humans, Therians, Altarians, even some Kraxans and Vortans. Working together, succeeding together. Amy added data to the hologram. Training programs on 7 worlds, 3,000 graduates, all volunteers who believe in something better. The chamber fell silent. The human revelation was complete, not just military strength, but a vision for change. The question hung in the air. What happened next? Lord Zarthek spoke first, his voice lower than before. You planned this for decades. We prepared for it, John corrected. The galaxy was going to need new leadership eventually. We just made sure humanity was ready when that time came. His communicator buzzed. Admiral Martinez's message was simple. All pieces in position. The board is yours, Ambassador. John looked around the Grand Hall, meeting the eyes of each species representative. The war is over. The old ways led to near extinction. Earth offers a different path. The choice is yours, but choose quickly. The galaxy won't wait forever for leadership that serves all, not just the powerful. Outside, the human fleet maintained perfect formation, a silent reminder that the primitive scavengers had become something far more significant. The gambit was revealed. Now the galaxy had to decide its response. Admiral Susan Martinez appeared on the main holographic display, her presence commanding attention even through the projection. She stood on the bridge of the USS Washington, Earth's newest dreadnought. Behind her, officers from multiple species worked at their stations. Members of the Galactic Council, she began, her voice clear and strong. I'm Admiral Martinez, commander of Earth's combined fleet. What you've seen so far is just the beginning. Lord Zarthek growled deep in his throat. More human threats? No, threats, Martinez replied. Just information you need to make an informed decision. She nodded to someone off-screen. Dr. Thompson, please begin your presentation. The hologram shifted, showing Dr. Lisa Thompson in what looked like a massive research facility. Behind her, quantum computers hummed with activity. The young scientist smiled nervously, then straightened her shoulders. Hello, everyone. I'm going to show you something that changes everything about galactic communication. She activated a device on her desk. Instantly, every translator in the Grand Hall synchronized perfectly. The usual slight delay in translation vanished. Alien delegates looked at each other in surprise as they heard each other's words in real time. Quantum entanglement communication, Lisa explained. Distance doesn't matter anymore. Earth to the edge of the galaxy, instant connection. No more waiting days for messages to cross space. The implications were staggering. Wars had been lost because orders arrived too late. Entire fleets had been destroyed due to communication delays. A Vortan scientist clicked excitedly. The energy requirements must be enormous. Lisa shook her head. Actually, it's quite efficient. We've been using it for 5 years. Every human ship and colony has quantum comm systems. The hologram changed again. Now it showed Commander Jack, Harrison standing on what looked like a frozen wasteland. His breath misted in the air, but he wore only light clothing. "This is Frost 7, he said. "Temperature outside is minus 200 degrees. Radiation levels would kill most species in minutes. But look behind me." The camera panned to show a thriving city under a massive dome. Children played in parks. Gardens grew lush and green. Humans and several alien species walked the streets together. "We learned to adapt," Jack continued. "Environmental suits that work in any condition. Dome technology that creates perfect habitats. We don't just survive. In hostile environments, we thrive." The demonstration continued as the image shifted to show a volcanic world. Lava flows surrounded another human settlement, but the colony appeared completely safe. Mining operations extracted rare minerals, while families lived in comfortable homes. "Every challenge has a solution," Jack said. "Humans don't see obstacles, we see opportunities." Back in the Grand Hall, John Carter stood again. "Our colonies aren't just outposts. They're fully functional worlds, each contributing to a larger network. Dr. Thompson, show them the production figures." Lisa's image returned, now displaying charts and graphs. "Each colony produces food, materials, and technology. We're not dependent on trade routes controlled by others. The network is self-sustaining." A Therian economist chirped in alarm. "These production levels, you could support billions of refugees." "We already do," John said quietly. 28 of our colonies house refugees from the war. All species welcome. No questions asked." This revelation caused another stir. Many smaller species had lost their homeworlds during the conflict. They survived as nomads or unwelcome guests on other worlds. Ambassador Emma Davis from the human delegation stood up. "May I share some testimonies?" John nodded. Emma activated her own projector. The image showed a Kilthani family, spider-like beings that most species feared. "Humans took us in when our world burned," the Kilthani matriarch said, her 8 eyes glistening with emotion. "They didn't care that we looked different. They gave us homes, schools for our children, dignity." The testimonies continued. A Danubian merchant spoke of human medical teams saving his colony from plague. A Rigelian captain described human ships defending his convoy without being asked. Story after story of quiet heroism during the war's darkest days. Lord Zarthek's scales had shifted to a muted brown, uncertainty and cracks in body language. "Why?" he asked. "Why help enemies? The Kilthani fought against both our empires." Colonel Alex Johnson appeared on the screen next, wearing combat armor scarred from many battles. "Because that's what humans do. We see suffering, we help. Doesn't matter who you are or what side you're on." He gestured behind him where human medics treated wounded from various species. "This is Field Hospital Mercy 7. We've operated continuously for 8 years, treated over 2 million casualties, never asked which side they fought for." The High Chancellor floated forward, his 6 arms spread wide. "This is unprecedented. No species has ever acted this way during wartime." "That's the point," John said. "Humanity brings something new to the galaxy. Not just technology or military strength, we bring a different philosophy." Admiral Martinez reappeared on the main screen. "Council members, I need to show you one more thing. Our strategic positioning." The star map returned, but now it showed more detail. The 47 human colonies weren't randomly placed. They formed a network that connected every major civilization in the galaxy. "Each colony sits at crucial jump points," Martinez explained. "We can reach any system within hours. More importantly, we can bring aid anywhere it's needed." General Ryan Cooper joined the presentation, his uniform bearing the scars of combat. "Earth's military doctrine isn't about conquest, it's about protection. We've positioned ourselves to be the galaxy's emergency response force," He showed tactical displays. Pirates attacking shipping lanes were there. Natural disaster on a colony world. We respond. Another war breaks out. We evacuate civilians from all sides. The scope of human planning became clear. While others fought for territory, Earth had built infrastructure for peace. While others hoarded resources, humans created abundance to share. Dr. Jennifer Lee appeared last, an older woman with kind eyes. I run Earth's linguistic program. We've developed universal translation matrices for every known language. No more miscommunication. No more accidental conflicts because someone used the wrong word. She demonstrated her system. Complex diplomatic documents appeared in multiple languages simultaneously. Technical manuals became readable by any species. Medical information translated perfectly, saving lives through shared knowledge. Amy Roberts stepped forward in the Grand Hall. Everything we've shown you is already operational. The network exists. The technology works. The people are trained. We're not preparing for the future. We're living it. The chamber remained silent as species absorbed these revelations. Humanity hadn't just grown powerful. They'd grown wise. They'd prepared not for domination, but for service. Senator Maria Garcia from Earth's government appeared on the screen. We have a proposal for the Council, but first you need to understand one thing. Human strength comes from unity. We stopped seeing ourselves as separate nations 200 years ago. We became one people with one goal: survive and help others survive. She paused, looking directly at the camera. The galaxy could learn from our example. The question, are you ready to try? John Carter surveyed the Grand Hall. Fear, respect, wonder, and uncertainty played across alien faces. The old order was crumbling. The powerful species that had ruled through strength alone suddenly faced a different kind of power. The power of unity and compassion backed by advanced technology. We don't seek to rule, John said. We seek to serve. But the galaxy must choose, continue the old ways that led to endless war, or try something new. Outside, the human fleet maintained its formation. The USS Harmony with its mixed crew served as a symbol of what was possible. The revolution wasn't military, it was philosophical, and now the galaxy had to decide which future it wanted. Senator Maria Garcia stood before the Galactic Council, her silver hair catching the light. Unlike the elaborate robes of other delegates, she wore a simple blue suit. Her eyes held the wisdom of someone who had seen both war and peace. The human proposal is simple, she began. Every species gets equal representation. One world, one vote. No more power based on fleet size or conquered territories. Lord Zarthek rose from his seat, his massive form casting shadows. Ridiculous. The Kraxan Empire commands 12 systems. Why should we have the same voice as some single planet species? Because every life has equal value, Maria replied calmly. Your 12 systems don't make your people more important than others. The Vortan Supreme Krixval clicked thoughtfully. For the first time since the meeting began, he seemed uncertain. The hive mind speaks for billions. Our collective wisdom is valuable, Maria interrupted gently. But so is the perspective of species who think individually. Diversity of thought prevents galactic mistakes. She activated her holo projector. The image showed the current council structure. A pyramid, with major powers at the top, minor species crushed at the bottom. This system caused the 1,000-year war, she said. The powerful made decisions, the weak suffered consequences. Entire species went extinct because they had no voice. The hologram changed, showing a circle instead. Every species had equal space, equal connection to others. Earth proposes this, the Galactic Democratic Council. Every member species has one representative. Decisions require majority vote. No single power can drag the galaxy into war. Whispers filled the chamber. The smaller species leaned forward with hope. The major powers shifted uncomfortably. A Rigelian delegate, barely 4 feet tall, stood on his chair. What about military protection? Small worlds can't defend themselves. Colonel Alex Johnson appeared on the main screen. Behind him, ships from multiple species flew in formation. The Galactic Peace Corps, combined forces from all member worlds. No species controls it. The Council as a whole directs it. He showed training facilities where different species work together. Kraxan strength combined with Therian agility. Human adaptability merged with Vortan collective thinking. We've already started training programs, Alex continued. Volunteers from 18 species. They're learning that former enemies make excellent allies. Lord Zarthek snarled. You expect the Kraxan Empire to place its forces under shared command? To take orders from lesser species? No, John Carter said, standing again. We expect the Kraxan Republic to contribute to galactic security. Empires are obsolete. The future belongs to cooperative governments. The word republic hung in the air like a challenge. Several Kraxan guards shifted nervously, looking at their leader. Ambassador Emma Davis activated another display. Perhaps testimonies will help. The screen showed a Saurian commander, his green scales marked with battle scars. I fought Kraxans for 50 years, the Saurian said. Hated them, wanted revenge. Then humans put me in mixed training units. Now my executive officer is Kraxan. Best tactical mind I've ever worked with. We were all wrong about each other. More testimonies followed. Former enemies becoming friends. Species discovering common ground. Prejudices dissolving through shared experience. The Altarian science delegate raised a crystalline hand. What about technological advancement? Will we share all knowledge? Dr. Lisa Thompson reappeared. The Galactic Science Initiative. Shared research, shared benefits. Imagine combining Altarian crystal technology with Vortan bioengineering and human quantum physics. We could solve problems none of us can handle alone. She showed joint research projects already underway. Diseases that plagued one species, being cured by another's biology. Engineering challenges solved by unexpected partnerships. Knowledge hoarding caused technological imbalances, Lisa explained. That led to military advantages, which led to wars. Shared knowledge means shared progress. The High Chancellor's wings rustled. This restructuring, it would change everything. Yes, Maria Garcia said simply. That's the point. Krixval's translator buzzed with rapid clicks. The Vortan Alliance spent centuries building our current position. Why should we abandon our advantages? John stepped forward. Because those advantages are illusions. Earth could have used our hidden strength to dominate. Instead, we choose to elevate everyone. True security comes from having no enemies, not from having the biggest weapons. A commotion erupted in the Kraxan section. Younger delegates argued with elders. Similar discussions broke out among the Vortans. The old guard faced challenges from those who had seen too much war. General Ryan Cooper appeared on screen, addressing the military representatives. The Peace Corps isn't just about stopping conflicts, it's about preventing them. Disaster relief, colony support, trade route protection, we serve everyone equally. He showed deployment plans, response times to any galactic location, resource distribution hubs, medical ships ready for any crisis. No more choosing which species deserves help based on politics, Ryan said. Everyone gets protection. Everyone contributes. The Therian delegate, speaking for many smaller species, squeaked loudly. We support Earth's proposal. For too long, we've been tokens in others' games. We want real participation. Other minor species joined the chorus. The chamber filled with dozens of languages, all expressing the same hope. Lord Zarthek looked around, realizing his position was eroding. Even among his own delegation, scales showed colors of uncertainty and change. You're asking us to surrender our earned status, he said, but his voice lacked its earlier force. We're asking you to trade status for security, John replied. To exchange the illusion of control for the reality of cooperation. Earth offers to lead this transition, not through force but by example. Amy Roberts read from her datapad. Current galactic population, 847 billion beings across 226 species. Under the old system, 40 billion have meaningful representation. Under our proposal, everyone has a voice. The mathematics were stark. The current system served less than 5% of galactic citizens. Senator Garcia made her final point. Earth's colonies already operate this way. Different species equal votes, shared prosperity, it works. We have proof. She showed images from human worlds. Council meetings where humans sat beside aliens as equals. Elections where every resident voted regardless of species. Laws protecting everyone equally. Some called us naive, Maria said. They said species were too different to cooperate. We proved them wrong. Now we offer that proof to the galaxy. The chamber fell silent. The weight of decision pressed on every delegate. Outside, the human fleet waited peacefully, a reminder that Earth had the power to force change but chose persuasion instead. Finally, a young Kraxan stood. Unlike the elders, his scales showed bright blue, hope in their color language. I am Commander Zektal, he said. I've served alongside humans in the refugee camps. They treated our wounded while we still called them enemies. Perhaps, it's time for new thinking. Lord Zarthek turned to his subordinate in shock. You dare speak against your emperor? I speak for our survival, Zektal replied. The old ways brought only death. Maybe these primitive humans understand something we missed. Similar scenes played out in other delegations. Younger voices, challenging ancient prejudices. Warriors tired of endless conflict. Scientists eager for shared knowledge. The High Chancellor raised his staff for order. The Council will vote. All in favor of hearing Earth's complete proposal? Hands, claws, tentacles, and appendages rose throughout the chamber. The motion passed overwhelmingly. John smiled. The revolution had begun, not with weapons, but with hope. The galaxy stood at a crossroads, and for the first time in 1,000 years it seemed ready to choose a different path. Then let's begin, he said. The future is waiting. 3 months had passed since the historic council meeting. The grand hall of Zentari Prime looked different now. The pyramid-shaped seating that once separated species by power had been replaced with a great circle. Every delegation sat as equals. Carter stood at the center podium, no longer just Earth's ambassador. The newly restructured Galactic Council had elected him as their first human council prime, a position that rotated among member species. The votes are counted, he announced. The Galactic Democratic Charter passes. 189 species in favor, 41 against, 6 abstaining. Applause filled the chamber, clicking mandibles, humming wings, clapping hands. Even some former opponents showed respect. The galaxy had chosen change. Lord Zarthek, now Representative Zarthek of the Kraxan Republic, stood slowly. His scales showed resignation, mixed with curiosity. The old empire is dissolved. Our worlds vote to join the new council. May this path prove wiser than our past. The transformation hadn't been easy. Some Kraxan hardliners had attempted a military coup, but younger officers, trained alongside humans and other species, had stopped them. The Kraxan people, tired of endless war, had chosen democracy. General Ryan Cooper appeared on the main display. Behind him, the new Galactic Peace Corps conducted training exercises. Ships from every member species flew in perfect formation. Council Prime, the Peace Corps is operational, Ryan reported. 15,000 vessels, mixed crews from all member worlds. We've already responded to 6 emergencies this month. The screen showed their work, evacuating colonies from stellar flares, stopping pirate raids, delivering medical supplies to plague worlds. Former enemies now serve together, saving lives across the galaxy. Our response time has decreased by 70%, Ryan continued. No more waiting for permission from individual governments. The Council orders we act. Dr. Jennifer Lee took the podium next. Her universal translation system had become the standard for all galactic communication. Language barriers are history, she said simply. Last week, a Therian engineer solved a Kraxan technical problem by reading ancient Vortan texts. Knowledge flows freely now. She demonstrated the latest upgrade. Not just words, but cultural concepts translated perfectly. Misunderstandings that once caused conflicts now became opportunities for learning. The High Chancellor, now serving as Council Coordinator, floated forward. I must admit, I doubted this would work. Different species seemed too different. But humans showed us something we forgot. Our differences make us stronger, not weaker. Amy Roberts, promoted to Deputy Council Secretary, presented economic data. Trade between member worlds increased by 400%. Former military budgets now fund infrastructure and research. The peace dividend is real. Charts showed the transformation. Weapons factories retooled to build colony ships. Military bases became research centers. Fear-based economies evolved into cooperation-based prosperity. A message arrived from the frontier. Captain Susan Park, commanding the mixed crew vessel Unity, reported from the Galactic Rim. Council Prime, we've made first contact with a new species, the Zalani. They're cautious, but interested in peaceful relations. John smiled. Follow first contact protocols. Offer medical assistance, if needed. Show them what the new galaxy represents. This was the 5th new species discovered since the Council's reform. Without the fear of conquest, unknown civilizations were more willing to reveal themselves. Dr. Lisa Thompson presented from her quantum laboratory. The Galactic Science Initiative has achieved breakthrough after breakthrough. Combining different species knowledge creates solutions none of us imagined alone. She showed their latest success. A cure for the Andromedan plague that had threatened 3 species. Altarian crystal technology, Vortan biological understanding, and human quantum theory had merged to save millions. Next project, terraforming dead worlds for refugee resettlement, Lisa announced. Every displaced population will have a home. Commander Zektal, the young Kraxan who had first supported change, now served as Peace Corps Strategic Commander. Former warriors make excellent peacekeepers, he said. We know war's true cost. We fight harder for peace than we ever did for conquest. The council session continued with reports from every sector. Education programs teaching galactic history from all perspectives. Cultural exchanges helping species understand each other. Joint exploration missions pushing the boundaries of known space. Senator Maria Garcia, now President of Earth's Democratic Government, appeared on screen. Humanity is proud to have catalyzed this change, but we're prouder still to be one voice among many. The galaxy belongs to all of us. John addressed the full council. 6 months ago, some called humans primitive scavengers. Today we work alongside every species as equals. Not because we forced change, but because we demonstrated a better way. The session moved to its final agenda item. John's term as Council Prime was ending. The position would rotate to another species as designed. The next Council Prime will be... John opened the sealed vote. Representative Makari of Theria. The small mouse-like being squeaked in surprise. Therians had been among the weakest species under the old system. Now one would lead the entire galaxy. Makari scurried to the podium, needing a lift to reach it. His tiny voice, amplified and translated, filled the chamber. My people were nearly extinct. Humans saved us. Then they gave us something greater, dignity. I will serve all species as they served us. Applause thundered through the hall. The symbolism was perfect. The smallest voice now spoke for everyone. As the session concluded, John found himself beside former enemies turned colleagues. Representative Krixval's compound eyes studied him. Humans confused us, the Vortan admitted. You had power to conquer but chose to serve. Why? John looked out at the great circle of species all working together. Because conquest ends with the conqueror alone and afraid. Service creates a community that protects everyone. Including former conquerors? Especially them. Today's enemy could be tomorrow's defender. We learned that lesson on Earth. Now the HFY galaxy learns it too. Outside, the mixed fleet patrolled peacefully. The USS Harmony, symbol of the New Age, led a formation of ships from dozens of worlds. In colony schools, children of different species played together. In research labs, scientists shared discoveries. In council halls, former enemies debated as equals. The 1,000-year war was truly over. Not because one side won, but because All sides chose to stop fighting. Humanity hadn't conquered the galaxy. They had helped it conquer its own fear and division. Admiral Martinez sent a final message to John. Earth Command reports all quiet on every front. The peace holds. John smiled, remembering the fear in the Council when humanity's fleet first appeared. Now those same ships protected everyone equally. The silent victors had become vocal advocates for justice. As he prepared to leave the Council Prime office, John found a gift from the Therian delegation, a small crystal containing messages from thousands of refugees saved by human intervention. Thank you for showing us strength doesn't require cruelty, one message read. Looking at the transformed galaxy, John knew humanity's greatest victory wasn't technological or military. It was proving that leadership through service created a stronger, more united galaxy than conquest ever could. The revolution was complete. The age of empires had ended. The age of cooperation had begun. And in the vast depths of space, explorers from all species ventured forth together, no longer as competitors but as partners in the infinite journey ahead.